shows up, in this case, on this person in the red dress. Now, one of the cool things you can do, as long as you have your yellow highlighted over the F button there, is you can change the blurry background. That background that you see there has this nice blur to it. This is called a bokeh effect. For those who are photographers, you might know that the definition of that term. But if I want to make changes to how blurry that background is, I can go ahead and take my finger and move this left or right, and this will allow me to change the overall depth. You'll notice that as I'm moving it over to this direction, that background becomes a lot sharper. But if I move it the other direction, we'll take a look at this. The background starts to increasingly blur, and you're left with this amazing, I'm going to rotate my phone again. You're left with this amazing blur to the background, and this person is sharpened in focus. But that's not all. In iPhone 15, there's a new next generation portraits feature that allows you to change the focus after you've taken the photo as well. So you'll notice here I've got two people. What if I want to focus onto the person in the pink outfit right here? Well, that yellow square symbolizes that the focus is set to the person in the red dress. If I want to change the focus to the other person, all I have to do is simply tap on the other person's face, and check that out, my phone focuses onto them instead. So you can tap on one person or the other to change the focus. Pretty amazing. I'm going to show you another example. So I'm going to hit cancel here. I'm going to discard the changes. I'm going to find another portrait, like this one here. So here is another example. You got this person in the foreground, but this person in the background here is in focus. If I tap edit and I enable the portrait feature, you'll notice that if I tap on the person that's right here with their eyes closed, if I tap on them, check this out. They're in focus, but that person's completely out of focus. This means you can choose your focus after you've taken the picture just by tapping on the subject that you want. It's incredible. This is super cool, being able to make these fine-tuned adjustments. That means if you and a friend take selfies of each other, you can make one and change the focus to them, and you can change the other focus for the other person. So it gives you complete control on how you want these photos to look. But not only that, not only can we change the focus, but we can also make other adjustments too, like exposure. When it comes to taking portrait photos, or any photo in general, you can't take a picture without light. In fact, when it comes to photos themselves, without any light, you wouldn't be able to take any type of picture. So what we're going to do is we're going to make adjustments to what's called exposure. To make changes like that, I'm going to tap on the adjust button right down here. I'm going to tap that right there, and you're going to see I've got all these different options. The first one that you see here is actually a magic wand. This is really cool because if you want your phone to make the adjustments automatically, your phone will determine what's best when you tap on that magic wand, and you can see the changes that take place. And if you tap on the photo, it'll switch between the original and the newly edited version. And you can see the newly edited one where I tap the magic wand, it's a bit sharper, and you also got this nice color with the red dress and the greenery behind this person here. But this button right here, if I tap on this button right here, this lets me change that exposure. Again, exposure is important because without light, you can't take a picture. What exposure does is it lets you adjust how much light is entering the lens. So if I move this slider left or right, I can increase or decrease the exposure. Now, of course, you don't want it to ever look something like this or like this, unless you want to intentionally do that. This is an example of an overexposed image. So you might want to make some adjustments to make it less or more exposed. But pretend like you're taking a picture in a dark environment. You can bring up the exposure to make things a bit clearer or easier to see. Or if it was taken outside like this one, bring down the exposure so that images like this look a lot nicer and clearer and you get really good vivid colors. You can also make other changes within this area. Of course, we've already gone through that with the magic wand. You can change brightness and saturation and color. But one of my favorite ones is actually the last one, vignette. If you want to add this really beautiful shading around the corners and frame of the photo here, just move this over and you'll see here, I get this really nice shadow that goes around this photo here. It makes things look a lot more dramatic, but also very sleek. So I'm going to tap on done on the top right corner. That'll save my work, and here is a newly edited photo where we were able to change the focus to this person here, and you got this nice beautiful vignette. So this photo looks incredible, shot and edited on iPhone. So that's how you can take advantage of portrait photos, being able to adjust the focus and exposure, and not only that, being able to adjust the portrait lighting as well. Next, let's talk about another type of photo that I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with, and that's with live photos. Live photos are actually a really cool feature. They were introduced a while back on some of our previous iPhone models, but live photos are both a photo and video. Now, what a live photo does is that when you take a photo, let's say, for example, maybe you're recording a friend's soccer game and you notice the winning kick that ends the game. You want to capture that photo, you tap on the white shutter to take that picture. But a live photo also captures about 3 seconds worth of video as well. When you tap that shutter button, your phone has already captured a second and a half of video. And then once you let go, it captures the remaining second and a half. So you get a total of 3 seconds of video on top of your photo. So why would that be helpful? Or why would we want to do that? One of those memorable moments, like I described, that winning kick in that soccer game, or another example, graduation for a lot of people is coming up here pretty soon. When people throw their caps up in the air, you can take the picture, but you've also got that 3-second clip of the entire thing happening. So you're basically capturing 2 formats at once. But there's another really cool thing that you can do with live photos, is that you're also able to change when you press the white shutter button. You can time travel with a live photo. And I'll show you an example. I'm going to tap on the back arrow on the